my trip to the Faroe Islands. The brethren over there, they are more on top of some things than what we are here. And I was put onto this over there and then began to build it with some of the things here. And this is just stuff that I've put together through a couple of years. All right, I'm going to do the math real quick, just for the benefit of rehearsing. Let me find where my starting place is here. Here we go. All right, guys. The fall of Israel. Comes in two phases. Number one, they lose their country. The date is what?
606 BC.
BC. Phase number two, they lose their capital. The year is what, guys?
587 BC.
All right, guys, talk to me here. The gap between these 2 years is what?
19 years.
19-year gap. Got that so far, Brother Shane?
Yes.
All right, you can look this up. Go to the Encyclopedia Britannica. Go to them, and they're going to have this battle that raged here. It might have started May 607 to 606. Don't get this confused, because automatically you're starting in a calendar year that's backwards. You start way up here and work your way down to 0. So you're looking, this battle that was fought here over Israel may have started in 607, but it ended in 606 because you're working off of a backwards calendar. Got it? All right, so you got a 19-year gap. Proof text between the 19-year gap. Second Kings. Where am I at, guys? 25 and 8. This ain't got nothing to do with chapter number 11. 2 Kings 25 and 8. Also, Jeremiah 52 and 12. Should describe a 19-year gap right through here. Take these two, do your math, guys. You get 19 years. There it is. Alright, so now, the fall of Israel takes place here. Get this off of Encyclopedia Britannica. Any type of world history event should be able to refresh your memory on that. The capital is here. They lose their capital in 586 BC. Alright, so now we're sitting here at 587 BC. The Hebrews, where did they go? If they're captured, they're enslaved, where did they go? Rome, Spain, Portugal, Babylon. They take a forced march trip to Babylon. Two of the biblical prophets that were there, or that was captured in this country, made the trip to Babylon, were Ezekiel and Daniel. Got it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
All right, when they get there, the question is for Ezekiel, how long is this thing going to stay? How long are we going to be here? So here comes this, don't get me on the right side and left side tonight, so let's do Ezekiel. Okay. His right side, left side. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you'll read Ezekiel chapter what? 4?
I believe so.
4. You said verse 1.
Ezekiel chapter number 4,
1 through
verses
6.
4 through 7, talks about a prophetical
He wrote 1 through 6.
curse. Ezekiel 4. through 7. You with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Ezekiel lays down on his right side, how long?
390 days.
390 days. On his right side. Got it? 390. Talking about bed sores, he's got it. On his left side, how long did he stay, guys?
40 days.
40 days on his left side. Come over here. Left. 40. Do some math. 390 plus 40 is what?
430.
430. Let's go over here. Stick this over here in your mind. 430 total years. But now this, I've got years, I jumped ahead. This is days. I think it's what, in verse 7 or so. Here he goes, there's 430 each day for a year, so you're looking at 430 years. Alright, so they go over here. They begin this in 606. When they lose and they're conquered, they're whipped, they're discouraged. 606. 19-year gap. They lose here. 2 prophets is already in Babylon. Ezekiel gets there. How long is this thing going to be given? The Lord gives him a vision of it. 390 days on one side, 40 days on the other side. If I remember right, this is for the tribe of, this is for Judah, this is for Israel, one or the other. Added up, 430 years. All right, let's do some math. They stay in Jerusalem, how long? Or I'm sorry, in
Babylon.
Babylon, how long?
70 years.
70.
Where's our proof text at?
Jeremiah 25.
Jeremiah
25:11.
25,
And 29:10.
11 through 12. And then
29:10.
29, 10.
2 Chronicles 36:21.
Chronicles 36, 21. Is that correct? You got him saying 70. You got him saying 70 again. 2 Chronicles. Who wrote 2 Chronicles? So how does that add up? Does that add up 70, 140, 210?
No, sir.
How does it add up?
70 years.
70 years? But do you add it?
No, sir.
Or do you find references to where these are just pointing to one period of 70 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so one period of 70 years, come over here, where we at, 606, minus 70, what do you get?
536.
536. Brother Shane, here we are, 606 BC, they're conquered. They leave the country. They spend 70 years in Babylon. Keeping your calendar right, you come 70 years, you come to the year 536 BC. Got it? They come back in 536 BC under who?
Cyprus.
Nehemiah?
Oh.
2 or 3 different guys? Ezra? Haggai? When they come back, they have served 70 years of this 430. Come over here, keep your math flowing. 430 minus 70 is what? 360. You got 360 years left on Ezekiel's curse. Now, when they come back out of come back out of Babylon, and they've got 360 years later, was their attitude one of repentance?
No, sir.
Was their attitude one, man, we have thoroughly messed up and we need to get right with God?
No, sir.
No. They come back, and does God say, okay, because you've been good little boys and good little girls, we're just going to phase this thing out, we're going to put you under grace. No. They still have 360 years left to serve. So, 360 years, and they come back in 536, but they come back and they give Nehemiah trouble, they give Ezra trouble, and they give Haggai trouble. Proof text, you look at Ezra chapter 3, verse 21. Here. And here he says they built the foundation and stopped the work. Haggai, here. Haggai says they dwelled in seated houses and left God's temple in ruin. Nehemiah, you're going to find some of them were thoroughly discouraged. Some of them they were encouraged. Some of them were, but by the most part, there's a bunch that just laid around, according to chapter 4, verse 10 through 13, and worked half-heartedly. So, you got 360 years left. Their attitude is one of arrogance. Their attitude is one of pride. Somebody says, we just got 360 years left and then the kingdom's going to be restored. We'll be just like what we was. We just got through serving 400 and something years in Egypt. Let's do the 360. We'll be back where we was at. Remember this. But God says, not so fast. There's something called a 7 principle. Some call it the 7 principle, some call it the 7 times principle, whatever. Where's it found? Leviticus chapter number 26. You'll find where God says multiply it by 7 numerous times. Numerous times. 360 times 7 is what? Anybody know?
2,520.
Very good. So all of a sudden, Ezekiel's curse over here, guys, it went from 430, they served 70 of it, okay? They had 360 years left. If they had been repentant, if they had been honest before God, they would have had to serve 360 years out of this, and the kingdom would be restored. But they did not. God comes back over there in Leviticus 26 and 27, the 7 times principle, and multiply it by 7. They have 2,520 years, guys, on their curse. Sounds like a lot, don't it? So, let's break that down. How are we going to add this thing up? Let's convert a little bit. 2,520 years, and you got 360 days in a year on their Jewish calendar. Let me write that down. Jewish calendar equals how many days? 7,200 days on Ezekiel's curse. Got it? Let's convert that over to our calendar. We're going to have, how's this thing go? 7,200 days. In our calendar, we would divide that by 365.25. Why the 0.25?
Leap year.
Leap year. It comes up with 2,483 and some odd change
If you add it up and
years left. Okay, you got that right there?
yes, sir.
That is Ezekiel's curse, still active. And this is on our, what we would say, our Gregorian calendar. It's still active. Okay. So now we come over here. You've got this right here left. So we're starting, where we at? Where we go? Here. You've got this long to serve. Or you start from here. They served the 70. They come back with a soured attitude. God says, all right, multiply it by 7. And here it is on our calendar right there. So let's look at it. So how do you do that?
Round it up.
2,483. Is there a year zero when from converting from BC to AD?
No.
No, sir.
What do?
You add one.
Add 1. 3 plus 1's what, Dalton?
What?
3 plus 1's what, Dalton?
4.
Very
Okay.
good.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to read.
2,484. So there's the total number right there. So now all we got to do is just a little bit of math, Brother Shane. You used to math. 2,484. Subtract your 536 BC, the year, and you come up with 1948. What happened in the year 1948? This was restored. The country. Don't forget your 19-year gap, guys. Add that back in there. 1948 plus 19 is what? 1967. What happened in 1967? Got their capital. How many years from 2016 to 1967? 49 years.
It's gonna be a year of Jubilee coming up.
All right. Supposed to be. Supposed to be. But remember, Leviticus 26 is still in effect. God says this is how it's supposed to be. That did not pass away with Christ and He died upon Calvary. That's for the land. Okay? God says this is this. This right here is still there to honor God. Have they took a year off by a government? Individuals have, some of the Pharisees have, granted, but as a nation as a whole, have they worked 6 years, took off 1, and rested, as God said to do? That's just as much in effect as what the 10 Commandments are. So here, this is still in effect. They've been 49 years. They have not took off a year. How many years do they owe God?
7.
7 years of rest. What do we find? There's something called repetition. History repeats itself. Keep that in the back of your mind. History repeats itself. They started this over here. They ignored this under Moses. They lost this under one of the kings. But it's still in effect. History is repeating itself. They owe God 7 years. How long is the tribulation? 7 years. Now, am I saying Christ is coming back in May, June? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is math. The numbers don't lie. 1 plus 1 equals 2, and you'll see math. And you, I believe, who was it read the verse about the books? Was it you read the one about the books? And the books were in Daniel. Daniel took various books and books that he had. And he used books. What are we doing tonight? We're using books. The books of the Bible. To get this. Nehemiah, Ezra, Haggai, the writings of Moses. Where we at? Jeremiah. You want to know what? If you put this in the back of your mind about the fall of a country and Jerusalem being in such a terrible waste, read Lamentations. It gives you a detailed description as to what Jerusalem's like in 587 when they slaughtered the people. Ezekiel. We're looking at books. 2 Kings. Who wrote the book 2 Kings? Look at that one. There's Jeremiah again. So, there's last Monday night's lesson.